Hi guys, so what we're going to do today is, with us being in lessons tomorrow, I thought we'd do a bit of a kind of a quiz, see where we're at. Not necessarily on the home learning topics, but just on some Unit 3 knowledge, just to check that things are fresh in your brain. And yeah, just a quiz to mix things up a little bit before we start normal lessons tomorrow and Friday. Okay, so obviously we're going to revise topics from Unit 3. So yeah, it's an opportunity to finish off any tasks from home learning that you didn't finish. Labour performance ratios is still looking pretty empty on the spreadsheet, so do make sure you've done that by tomorrow's lesson, okay, as well as this quiz. So let's get started. So number 1, state 2 reasons firms may want to set corporate objectives. So pause the video, you can do this on an iPad, you can do this on a bit of paper, you could get a blank Google Doc, but I do encourage you to do this as honestly as possible to check where you're at. Okay, 2, why might corporate social responsibility cause a conflict between stakeholders? 2 reasons. Okay, 3, define role culture. So pause the video. I'm going to go quite quick. So pause the video, and then when you're ready, you can just bang on the space bar. 3, define a person culture. 5, identify 2 characteristics of a weak corporate culture. Okay, 6, what are 3 typical strategies? Any 3 strategies. Okay, 7, explain 1 possible competitive advantage a business may have. Okay, 8, draw Porter's strategic matrix. You might need a bit of paper for this one. So give yourself a bit of time for this. The axes, all 4 boxes, 6 marks on offer. What is the S in pestle? Is the T in SWOT internal or external? Draw Ansough's matrix. I think it's appeared on the mock. Okay, complete this decision tree. What should they do, and what is the expected economic return of the 2 options? $13. Yeah, we can calculate the ARR, the net present value, and the payback period from this data. This is going to take quite a lot of time, so I would definitely copy out the table, discount, ARR method, payback period method, cumulative net cash flows. Not going to do that. Oh, payback, is that the same data? No, it's different data. It was... Okay, sorry, let me go back. So 13, I want to calculate the net present value. So just net present value. Sorry, I forgot that when I made this. 14, I want to calculate the payback period for this data, which is different data. 15, I'd like to calculate the ARR from this data. Okay, 16. State 2 limitations of decision tree analysis. 17. State one likely impact of employing a new strategy on the workforce, capital, and finance. So, what's going to be the impact of a new strategy on A, finance, B, capital, and C, finance? Okay, so that's it. So let's go through some answers now. So, state 2 reasons firms may want to set corporate objectives. Anything from direction, focus, can be turned into departmental or individual targets, motivation for staff, measure progress, anything like that. Okay, so any 2 from that list. 2. Why might CSR cause a conflict between stakeholders? Because shareholders are seeking to maximize profit and directors are wanting maybe a more CSR business. Okay, so it's that conflict between lower costs and higher prices and doing what's right and ethical. Maybe consumers want high value, low price goods, but the business is following CSR. So the consumers wanting the cheapest possible goods, they don't really care where they come from, and yet the business follows CSR, which is going to raise costs and prices probably. Describe a role culture. So all workers have a very strict position in the business. Teamwork and independent thinking are not encouraged. It's highly bureaucratic. There are lots of rules and policies. Okay, 4, a person culture. The workers in the business are like individual entrepreneurs. They work independently and have lots of control and freedom. A laissez-faire leadership style will be present. 2 characteristics of weak culture. Anything from high labour turnover, low morale, lots of rules, theory X workers work for money and not the business. 6. What are 3 typical strategies? Mergers and acquisitions, foreign expansion, new products. To leave a market can be a strategy, or maybe to enter a new product market or geographical market. Identify one possible competitive advantage a business may have: customer service, uniqueness, a USP, style, brand, market position, innovation, loyal customers, or a patent. Okay, 8. Porter's matrix looks like this. So either way you've done it, you need to have them in the right space. So we can have mass and narrow, or broad and narrow, from this one that I've stolen from Tutor to You. And then you can have cost or differentiation. So if you're mass market and the cheapest, you're the cost leader. If you're niche and the cheapest, you've got to focus on costs. So you're deliberately niche, but you're the cheapest in that niche market. Or you can be niche and differentiate yourself. Okay, so you can be very unique but still niche. So that's a proper niche market approach or differentiation focus. And then you've got differentiation leadership, where you're mass market, but you compete on uniqueness rather than cost. Okay, so I think you could argue maybe Apple as a differentiation leader, where they try to differentiate themselves on design and the software. Cost leadership would be something that is the cheapest on the market. Cost focus would be niche but cheap, and then differentiation focus would be niche but highly unique. What is the S in PESTLE? Easy one. Social or society. 10 is obviously external. So the T is external. We've got strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. SW internal, OT external. So Antoff's matrix looks like this. So we've got products and markets, so existing and new. So if we go existing, so if we're in this sort of area, can we use a laser colour? Does that work? So we can go market penetration, so existing is a market penetration, the least risky, so selling the same product to the same people. So trying to sell more Big Macs in Hong Kong. New product and existing markets is product development, so developing a new product but selling it to your existing customer base. A new market with an existing product, so taking an existing product and trying to sell it to new people, either different market segment or a different geographical market segment. And then diversification would be a new product in a brand new market. Okay? So we were working at the decision tree then. So it was 43,000 for the delivery service versus 28,500 for extended premises. So therefore the delivery service is the most lucrative using the decision tree analysis. Okay, so you should have got 43,000 and the delivery service. 3, the net present value is 434,165 because we had the net cash flows, you then discounted, that should give us the net present value, you add them up and minus off the initial investment, gives us 434,165, okay? I've gone through that fast. If you don't know what's just gone on there, then I strongly recommend you spend some time to revise that, okay? Then we asked for the payback period. It was 3 years and 4.5 months. 5 months would be fine, 3 years and 5 months. I don't think 4 months would, because you wouldn't have, strictly speaking, got your money back after 4 months. But either 4.5 or 5 months. The ARR was 16%. You can pause the video, have a look at the working here, but it's 16%. Again, I'm not going to go through this now. This video is going to be super long. State 2 limitations of decision tree analysis. All the returns are estimates. The risk percentages are also estimates, so that multiplier is also an estimate. And also the costs are estimates. And also complex projects become very hard to draw out. So what is going to be the impact of a new strategy? Well, on the workforce, we might have to have redundancies if we buy in a lot of capital or we end up with duplicated workers due to a merger. Maybe we need to recruit, so the opposite. We need to recruit more workers, maybe we need to train new workers, maybe we're going to ask more of our existing workers because there's going to be a lot of workload and stress, which could lead to demotivation. Or maybe there's going to be the opportunities for promotion, or maybe even international promotion where somebody moves abroad to open up a head office in a new region. What about on capital? Well, we might have to sell capital. What's going to be the depreciation on that? Are we going to lose a lot of money on our assets? How are we going to finance new capital if we're expanding and needing new machinery? Can we adapt our existing capital? So do we need a new IT suite? Do we need to update the new IT suite? Do we need a new networking system? And the finance, obviously, where are we going to get the money from? What's our gearing ratio? Can we borrow more money? Are we going to have to take more shareholders on? Can we use retained profit? How are our shareholders going to act if we reduce dividends? Okay, so that was it. I'll add up how much that's out of. I'm not actually sure how much that's out of right now. So what I want you to do is, once you've marked this, put the score. You'll see that 11s and 12s have done similar this week. I've done quizzes with all my classes this week. You'll see they've put the score in the green box. So once you've done this quiz, turn it green and then put your score in the box just to see how you're doing. Okay, so I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Do this today and I'll see you tomorrow.